All right, bro. Why did you buy the root beer?
You mean other than how beautiful it is? Is that the question?
That's the question.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Karar, and this is
Alex?
And today we're going to talk a little bit about the Rolex GMT-Master root beer, the reason why I bought it, why I actually, truly, really love it, and we're going to have a closer look and unbox the watch itself. So let's dive right into it. Here we have the signature green Rolex box. And when you open it up, you have your watch sitting nice and neat on this cushion. So here it is, the beauty, the Rolex GMT-Master root beer. Just look at the blend of colors with the Everose, with the brown, with the black. It's absolutely gorgeous. I truly love this piece. And here we have it. So Alex, how do you like the watch?
I love it.
You love it?
The question is, why did you buy it?
Why I bought the root beer? Well, obviously it's a extremely beautiful watch. It is stunning. I love everything gold, especially when it comes from Rolex. I think the fact that Rolex has their own in-house foundry makes this watch so much cooler to know that everything was created in-house. Also, the Everose is very unique. I really love the shine of the Everose, and since Rolex makes it in-house, they also blend in platinum and copper with the gold to give it this unique color tone. And according to Rolex themselves, this is a gold that will not fade with time. So that's going to be very interesting to see.
So this model got introduced back in 2018, and it's actually the first time Rolex used Everose gold in the GMT Master line. We have seen it before in the Yacht Master line, but never in the sports models such as the Submariner or the GMT Master. But this is not the first root beer that Rolex releases. They released one version back in the 1970s, but that one featured yellow gold tones instead of the rose. So, Karar, have you always been a fan of the root beer?
Absolutely not. I've actually had a couple of friends and colleagues that used to wear the older version of the root beer, and I always thought that is a watch you wear when you passed your 50s. I really didn't like the color tone on the old root beer, but when Rolex released this new model, which is a extremely modern touch, or a reissue, if you will, of the root beer, this one really got my attention because really loved the colorway. I love two-tone, and not a lot of people out there do that, but I'm a huge fan of two-tone. And
obviously we see it.
Obviously repping the two-tone Daytona today. But this two-tone really got my attention, and I became a fan of the root beer when I saw this model.
Fun fact, I'm not old, as you can see, I'm not that old, but I used to have the old version of the root beer that Karar just said he sees on.
You're an old soul.
Old soul. I'm on the older people. Yeah, but I had one original root beer with the brown dial and the stainless steel and yellow gold like 2 years ago, and I enjoyed it. However, this one it's a bit more sporty since that has a black dial. The old one has had either matte brown dial or a sunburst brown dial.
Yeah,
but a
cheap mustard dial.
A cheap mustard dial. When Rolex introduced this one back in 2018, it actually was, for me, the first time in a very long time when Rolex introduced their novelties that I felt like, wow,
yeah,
this is a contender for me that's a bit more into vintage to actually feel the urge to have a modern Rolex. And I still think it's pretty undervalued amongst people.
Yeah. And this is also one of the first two tones in modern Rolex history that actually started trading above retail. Two-tones have always traded below retail, have been less sought after. Usually, even when the steel craze, sports model craze started with Rolex, the two-tone watches was still slacking behind. You could still get discounts at authorized dealers and so on, until this bad boy arrived. And the root beer is currently trading slightly above retail. They Rolex themselves raised the retail price pretty aggressively. So
it's not a cheap watch. I mean, it's pretty expensive.
It's
for a two-tone, but yeah.
But it's still cheaper. Yeah, it costs less than the Rolex Pepsi, which is essentially the same movement, same case, etc. But this one has rose gold in it, and for me, I would much rather wear the root beer than the Pepsi personally.
100%. Me as well. I totally down with you on that road. And I mean, if you think two-tone is a bit too less gold, then you also have the full rose gold version of this watch.
Yeah.
With the same bezel and dial.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a really heavy hitter.
That is a heavy hitter in all terms.
So guys, by now, if you've seen our other reviews, you know that we are not huge fans of the maxi case that Rolex has in the current production line. And I mean, we said both about the Hulk and the Pepsi that would prefer it to be thinner, a bit more slim.
Yeah.
However, when we have this watch here, I mean, we can make an exception.
But with the tones, etc., I can forgive the maxi case and look past that. This is a gorgeous watch on the wrist, a true attention grabber as well.
And I think that somehow, even though it's two-tone rose gold and steel, somehow if you compare it, I mean, beside the Rolex Daytona that's with yellow gold, it's a bit more subtle, I think. It's not as much in your face. The rose gold tone on this one it's pretty, I mean...
Yeah, it's a little bit different than the blingy yellow gold that people are used to from Rolex.
Although it's still a blingy watch, but I mean, the rose gold tone makes it a bit more subtle. And with the black and brown bezel, it's pretty damn good looking. Quick market check.
Market check.
All right. So retail, and you can walk me through everything.
So when this one was released, the retail price was approximately $14,000 US. But recently this year, Rolex raised their prices. Just double checked, depending on currency, etc. The retail price is approximately 17,500, 18,000, depending on currency and where in the world. So it was a pretty aggressive jump in their pricing by Rolex. And when it was released, it was super hard to get your hands on it. It's still fairly hard to get your hands on it from an AD, although it's slightly easier than when it was released. That is because the secondary market pricing is close to the retail pricing at this moment. And I think that has to do a little bit with the aggressive race by Rolex that was done prior to the pandemic. And now the prices in the secondary market really didn't catch up as much as Rolex would have wished for. So at the moment, this one is achievable around 17,000, 18,000 US. And it is crazy to say, but I think this is the very first two-tone that I own that I see as an investment piece over time. This watch, when I bought the Daytona two-tone, I didn't really see it as an investment piece, and I still don't see it as an investment piece. But this one, I truly believe this will go up in price with time.
Future classic.
Future classic, yeah, definitely.
It has the potential, I mean, since it's the first time they use rose gold or ever rose gold and steel in the GMT-Master line, so it can probably be a collectible piece in the future.
Absolutely. So yeah, time will tell. Thank you guys for tuning in this time around. We hope you enjoyed our review of the Rolex GMT-Master Root Beer. Let us know your comments. What do you think about the watch? How do you like it? Is it to your taste? And please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for this time around.
Thank you.